Good evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Old Forester. This is 1924, coming in at a 50% ABV, 10-year age statement. So here in 2024, we got a little bit of an announcement this was coming out, and it just finally started showing up on shelves, and I was lucky enough to grab one here in Indiana. The cool thing about this is it's actually part of the Whiskey Row series out of Old Forester, meaning that we should see it in a relative yearly release, if anything, at least from what we're seeing right now. Maybe not necessarily shelf stable, but every year they're going to be adding another version of their 10-year offering, which is kind of cool. And they do tell us a mash bill on this, coming in at 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. So, I mean, I've had my fair share of Old Foresters. I've only done one or two bottles on the channel to review, just because they are so relative to find in my area. I just haven't delved into them too deeply. And at some point in time, I do plan on going down and start reviewing all of the Old Forester bottles and kind of just do some A/B comparisons between them. But for today, let's go ahead and just jump into the 1924. So as always, we're going to be trying two different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add just a drop of water. See if anything changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit, become a member if you'd like. If you're interested in some of the other Old Forester reviews I've done, they will be linked up above and down below, so you can check those out. And so far, I think the only other one I've done is the 2022 birthday bourbon. I kind of just jumped into that series, into the Old Forester lineup with the birthday bourbon. It's kind of crazy. But I received an option to buy one from Total Wine, so I took it. I will be doing an A/B comparison between this and the birthday bourbon, just for funsies. Mainly because I think the 11-year that I have, I think it's 11 years old, is the 2022 version. So I'm kind of just interested on those kind of two comparisons. I already love its color. That is a dark. I love it. Deep, rich, dark, almost cola-like. Yeah. All right. Let's go for notes. Get a beautiful, rich oak in there. I love that. The apple really is showing up as well. Very orchard fruit apple. Just beautiful on that. Very light spice layer from the rye, but almost rich, like a chocolatey. Not quite chocolate, but like it's got a richness to the nose. But very fruit forward, maybe some like black cherry. Definitely there's darker fruits going on in here as well. So you get almost an apple, like a juicy red apple sweetness, but then you also get this dark plum and maybe a little bit of like a black cherryness. You also get a bit of the charriness going on in here, which I always love finding. You get the oak vanilla caramel, kind of that classic bourbon nose to it, but definitely this is more fruit forward, and that deep oakiness is in there, playing so well with that cherry, that almost like a dark red. I really do love the oakiness in this one. It's almost oily, playing around with that bit of black cherry in there. It is fruity and oaky and very, very rich. All right. Let's go for taste. There's very little you can argue about on that sip. A lot of rich fruits going on here. You get a bit of like that cherry showing up, plum, orchard fruits going through and through, bright berries even. The charriness from the cask is there. So you get that oak, and it plays around with that bit of vanilla, almost bringing across a creaminess to it. Not quite berries and cream, but close. Honestly, that's hitting right up home plate. It's got a beautiful cling because of its ABV and its age statement. You're getting those beautiful charry oak layers in here, and almost maybe, I wouldn't quite say like a leatheriness going in there, but just a nice deep richness. The fruit layers are bountiful. Again, for me, it's like dark cherries and berries, a little bit of that almost tart green apple going in there, just a little bit in the finish. That light bit of rice spice in there does a little bit for the palate, just adding a bit of spice. The vanilla shows up to a T. You can't argue with it, I don't feel like. It is a really good bourbon. Third sip here, maybe a little bit of like a sweet tobacco going on here in the finish as well. That is good. I mean, everything's jiving up for a great bourbon, minus the price. I don't know about the price yet. I still got to think about that. But that's a good sip. All right. Let's add a little drop of water. See if anything changes up. I'm not expecting a lot to happen here. But we do it for the sake of science, right? Just do one little drop. Boom. Keeping it simple. I love that finish. Beautiful on that finish. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Ooh, I got a little angry. The tannins, wow. ABV got ramped up a little bit, so it's got a little more bite to it, but the oily tannins are really showing up. Almost like freshly put on wood, like a fresh layer of shellac. Like it's got a bite to it now. It really overtakes the glass for me. Oiliness, and it's just very tannin heavy on that nose. Let's go for a taste and see how it is. Gets a little nutty in there, but drinks too simple. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. That goes very, very simple. And we're just doing this for the sake of science. I really wasn't expecting too much, but boy, oh boy, that goes very soft, very simple. The oakiness is showing up. It's getting a little bitter in there as well. And then here in the second phase of its sip, it just kind of falls apart and really kind of loses its way. Let's go back to the neat version here. The oiliness, that is beautiful. Getting a little bit more chocolate on there now as well. I like that. That's really solid. I would not recommend water on this one. It kind of really just makes it go very mute, and especially for a bottle at this range, it's just not recommended in my opinion. So, all right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and boy, oh boy, this one's going to vary. So I ended up paying about $110 for this, and MSRP on it's usually about $115. And looking online, obviously, it's already jumped over $200-300 for a bottle of this on the secondary market. Do I think it's worth the $110? I would have wished it was a little cheaper at the $100 price point. Do I think it's good? Yes. I think it's a great sip. If you're an Old Forester fan, this is right up your alley. You have a great mash bill here, beautiful age statement to it, and I love that oaky profile mixed in there with that fruitiness. It is very, very good. I would feel more comfortable if this was shelf stable at like $90 personally, because there's a lot of great older whiskeys out there for less. You know, when you look at something like Knob Creek's whole lineup, the 12, I can pick the 12 up for like $56, $57 here in Indiana. The Knob Creek 9's $28 to $30, and I get that's kind of a different wheelhouse. But then I look at other things like the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Those have been ranging at the higher age statements. Hell, C923 was 13 years, 7 months at $70. Again, I think it's good. I wouldn't necessarily overpay for this one. I think its asking point is where I feel comfortable. At $100, I'd feel even better. If it was $90, I think it would be a daily grab if I ever saw this on the shelf. But at $100, $115, don't overpay for it. I think that's about where it needs to live in today's market. And overall, I think it's a really good sip. And if you see this at a bar back, it's definitely worth a pour, if anything. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Old Forester 1924. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, and I even like it might